And we're live. Welcome back to the Digital Creators Podcast. Today we're in the studio with Mark Ashforth.
Woo!
From BOI-BOI Clothing.
Woo!
Mark Ashforth is a Perth, Boorloo based fashion designer behind the label BOI-BOI. BOI-BOI is a unisex label that focuses on masculine workwear. Mark's aim with the brand is to take a fun approach to casual fashion and push the average consumer to explore new silhouettes. In this episode, we're going to talk about the fashion scene in Australia and Perth, how Mark got started, what it's like running a fashion brand in Perth, his goals for the future, and more.
Woo!
Whoa, so let's get into it. So what's your take on like Australian fashion, like in general, like the everyday
Oh, like just what
Aussie
people
fashion?
wear.
Yeah, like the scene. What's Mark's takes?
My hot takes. I like it. It's very broad. I don't think Australia has like a very distinctive style, if that makes sense. Like overall, it's probably a bit like most cultural things in Australia, where it's a bit of a melting pot. But
We don't. Do you think we're just having an identity crisis, so we don't have like a style in that sense, or?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm a young man. I haven't been in this industry for very long, but it's not huge, as far as I can tell. There's not that many, major labels creating things.
Yeah.
Out of Australia, there's a few over east, especially not in Perth.
I mean, most people don't care about fashion.
And most people don't care about fashion.
They just go to Kmart or Target and
exactly
buy the cheapest thing, right?
Yeah, or Culture Kings.
Yep. Shout out. They actually sponsor this podcast.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely burgeoning. It's good here. I like it here in Perth. I think it's very broad here in Perth.
Would you say,
like.
I've heard people say it's kind of like mixed between sportswear and outdoor wear in generally?
Yeah. Yeah. It's very reminiscent of Australia as a country. We like going outside and we like playing sport.
Yeah. Like I see a lot of very popular in winter is those puffer jackets, sleeves.
It's also all that stuff's very like London.
Oh,
very
yeah.
like I don't know, South London.
Yeah.
Or like I feel like much with a lot of other cultural things in Australia, we just pinch stuff from other people.
Yeah.
We're like,
Pretty
I'm
much.
trying to dress like I'm in LA.
Yeah.
Or you're like, I'm trying to dress like I'm from South London, innit?
Yeah. I think our Australian culture is multicultural because like we have so many people from different places living here.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's not one distinct style, but I would say the typical Australian style is probably inspired by like sport and outdoor stuff personally, like football, AFL, hiking, I don't know, that sort of stuff.
Wearing my footy jersey over my T-shirt to the pub.
Yeah.
That's the vibe.
But have you been to Melbourne at all?
I have been to Melbourne a few times.
I have not been to Melbourne.
Oh.
So can you
should
tell
go.
me? Why should I go, Mark? Why should I go to Melbourne?
Because everyone goes there. If you're in Perth, everyone just goes to Melbourne.
Especially if you're creative.
If you're a creative. No, you should stay in Perth forever because I like Perth better. Melbourne's cool. Melbourne is definitely probably the fashion capital of Australia, I think you'd have to think. Sydney's just like a bunch of people wearing suits and working in offices.
You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah.
Mark said it.
Hot take. I don't like Sydney. Melbourne's cool. There's a few cool brands out there. I really like Perks and Mini. They're probably one of our biggest in terms of like young people, cool fashion, right? Perks and Mini is
What is cool, Mark? What is cool?
Great question. I don't know.
Are you cool?
No, far from it. There's definitely room to grow in Australia, I think. We also, well, at least from my perspective, there's not much manufacturing here anymore.
Like, what do we even have creatively? What are we leading in creatively, like in any industry?
Music's good.
Music?
We got good music.
Which musicians are you looking at? Like, I'd say maybe the Kid Leroy.
The Kid Leroy,
Our
our biggest export.
biggest export.
Closely followed by Iggy Azalea.
Yep.
Get that trash off the airwaves.
Yep.
AC/DC. We
AC/DC.
can't get over that.
AC/DC, like, they're one of the, like, I think we're all collectively proud of AC. Like, we can be proud of AC/DC.
Oh, yeah. But I do find it funny when, like, there was a lot of, like, talk last year when I think, like, Wham, like, the WA music thing, they had, like, a whole night dedicated to, like, AC/DC, and we're all like, yeah, we heard these songs, man.
We've had it before.
Yeah,
like,
we've been really proud of these guys for like 40 years.
Every pub night, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I think we got to move on at some point. God bless them.
Is Wham still going? I think
Wham still goes.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah. It's like a big organization. They've just announced WhamCon.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. They're back.
I thought I saw something where, like, there was no funding or something from the government. And
Oh, I'm sure there isn't. It's a government-funded thing, so I'm sure they're scraping by. But
so music, so we got, like, some good musicians. I think we got talent here.
Yeah.
But I think it's just the fact that you got to move somewhere to pursue it.
We don't keep them. We just ship people out, usually. Well, that's it.
Yeah. It's
people ship themselves out.
It's true. Are there any, like, big creatives that are operating successfully from Australia? Maybe, like, I think it's only creatives that got big, went overseas, got bigger, and then now they're on, like, Channel 7.
Yeah.
Like, when The Voice is on or whatever.
That's the move. It is interesting. Like, it's an interesting thought to have and try and figure out why we haven't tried to keep our own talent in a weird way.
I think it's because
everything's everywhere else but here because we can't be bothered starting our own thing or something. This is my segue into talking about myself.
Oh, you can continue.
But
I think it's because if you look at our GDP, it comes from, like, the mining
big
sector,
rocks.
so, like, big rocks in the ground, and then so everyone who tries to be a creative, who just, like, try, and then they're like, oh, we can't make enough money. We'll just go help with the rock digging.
Yeah, you can only play so many gigs at Mojo's before you have to look for better things or dig a rock.
But if you look at Japan, they got thriving fashion scene there, thriving animation, gaming scene there. They buy our rocks to fund their to initially fund it, but they have and they make cars, everything. Like, you have all the big everything. But if you look at Germany as well, they make cars. Everywhere else seems to make stuff, but we just kind of dig rocks.
We dig rocks and then other people turn them into cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then we buy it back off them.
Yeah.
And then we're like, this is sick. This is a great system.
That's true.
I was thinking before, I was like, because the reason I started my own brand was because I went through, well, long story. I ended up at fashion school with my buddy Declan, who runs Object House. And all through uni, the definitely felt like it was setting me up or setting everyone up to get an internship somewhere, not here.
Yeah.
And not even in Australia, probably.
Yeah.
And, pick yourself up and move to some European country and sweep floors for ex-designer.
Yeah.
Raf Simons or something.
Damn. That's a flex.
For a few, I don't know anyone who did that. I've just pulled one out of my butt. But that didn't appeal to me, and
here you are,
and here I am, and I'm not doing amazing, but I'm doing it for myself.
Yeah,
which, I think There's a few different things that people can do, but
I think it like, do you want to live here? Like do you see yourself living here in the future?
yeah, I like Perth. Perth.
Yeah, guys, some people like Perth.
I like Perth. Perth's very chill. Where are you from?
Yeah, I grew up in Perth.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I love Perth. It's small and isolated, and everyone knows each other, which is annoying. But
Yeah, I think people hate on Perth because we're like, oh, nothing happens here. Da, da, da. But at the same time, we love it for that exact reason.
yeah, I'm chilling all the time. It's
like,
great.
Yeah, it is great.
And I got lots of family here. Like my whole family's here, basically. There's a few stragglers on other parts of the planet, but
It's safe, good economy. No, not much corruption and stuff like in other countries, I guess.
Not that we know.
Yeah, not that I know of, but
Tinfoil hat moment.
yeah.
Yeah,
No
I like
aliens.
Perth, and I definitely like Australia, but yeah, it's hard. As a creative, as a digital creator, justifying staying in the most isolated place, literally on the planet, well, the most isolated city, it's hard. Everything's more expensive to ship stuff here and ship stuff out of here and all sorts of stuff. But I like it here also, and I'm not quite ready to leave.
But I do feel like we're very lucky here.
Oh yeah,
we have it so good because we're so lucky. Like if we didn't have those rocks, we probably would have to like I don't know, work really, really hard.
We'd probably have to do shitloads if there wasn't a bunch of dead dinosaurs in the ground that we get to dig up and flog. Yeah, I don't know. You know, that's a problem for
but
smarter people than me to solve.
I guess it. But you know, yeah, we don't have to deal with that. But did you live in Melbourne or you just travelled there?
I've just travelled there. I went there a few times, like growing up with my family, and then I've been there probably 5 or 6 times in the last couple of years.
Yeah,
between doing tours with my band and then just holidays and stuff.
Oh, you have a band?
I had a band. I was in a band called Demon Days.
Wait, I think I've heard of them.
I'm around. We were around for about...
Demon Days, yeah, I've definitely heard of that.
You might be thinking of the Gorillaz album, Demon Days.
Great album.
Fantastic album. So good that we named a band after it. Yeah, I was in a band called Demon Days for about 4.5, 5 years. That's kind of what I thought I would be doing now. Well, not now, but when I was growing up, I did music all through school and was kind of the music nerd, nerd. I went to a very like sports focused high school.
Which one? Shout them out.
I'm not at liberty to say. It's in Wembley Downs. I'll tell you that much for free.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. So I was a music kid, and then I went to Whopper for jazz, drums, and then hated it. Jazz, and then I left because I hated it.
Oh,
and I had a bit of a crisis. And then my buddy Declan was like, I'm going to do fashion design. You should do it too. And then they told my mum, and my mum did textiles at Curtin in ancient history, which is what turned into the fashion course. So when Declan told my mum was like,
do it. Okay.
And then I just ended up doing it. And now I'm here.
So when did you start BOI-BOI, the brand?
Kind of 2020 for legal reasons. If anyone's asking. I kind of like started thinking about it at fashion school when I started to think I'm not willing to uproot my life for an internship, for an unpaid.
Yeah, because I think that is the route that you have to go, like from people I've spoken to.
Yeah. Which sucks. I think that sucks. This is my hot take, number one. I think it's very gatekeepy because you have to be rich enough to afford or have, parents who will pay for you to uproot and go
to London,
chase your dreams and work for free for someone for, a year, 2 years. And that's wild. That's a really weird thing to have to. I mean, there's lots of industries that start that way, that your career is meant to start that way. But with fashion, it's very. I don't know. I don't know. Does that weird you out?
Gatekeeping?
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like that just is gonna mean a lot of people can't afford to do that career, right? And then you're losing out.
Yeah,
on
it's all
those
about
people's voices.
Well,
It's like access.
I think that's the case with everything in a
Yes,
way.
yeah.
Like if you can afford to go to Harvard and you get into Harvard, then
If your dad buys a wing
yeah,
of Harvard.
yeah, then like of course money is
Yeah.
very helpful.
Yeah.
And even if you are serious about fashion design, as you've heard of Central St. Martin's.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like places like that is like if you're really taking it serious, that's where you want to go. But
Yeah.
it's probably very, very expensive.
Yeah.
And
then you do that expensive degree and then you go, I'm going to go do a free internship for 2 years.
yeah,
Despite now technically being a skilled professional.
I don't think it's like, I think it should just be based on your skill. I guess that's what scholarships are for, but I don't think anyone's like, hey, let's give a Perth graduate a scholarship.
You want to live in a meritocracy. I mean, but still, if you get a scholarship, still after that, they're like, now you're working for free. If I get a scholarship to Central St. Martin's, I still get out of Central St. Martin's and go, would anyone like to hire me? And they
Hello.
say, will you work for free? And then I say no. And
Yeah,
then
I
they
don't
say,
like the
piss
whole
off.
working for free thing.
I
Is
think
that very
it's
common in
rank.
like a lot of fashion, like big fashion brands? I feel like they should at least.
I've never worked at them. But
Have you looked into it?
I mean, from what I heard at uni, right, that was the plan. That's what they expect.
I think that is.
And I've heard from other people.
I'd say that is good advice. If you want, like,
expect to work for free.
not work free. Like,
Expect to undervalue yourself greatly.
but I think if you want to have a good reputation for your fashion brand, you should pay interns.
Yeah.
However, you kind of got to do what you got to do in a way. Like if you want to, you might have to mop some floors.
Yeah.
Like,
but I'd rather mop my own floor.
Like
That's where I landed.
it's true.
I'll mop my own damn floor, and I'll make my own damn pant.
Did you apply for any? You didn't apply for any.
Nope. I did an internship at Mantle, which is a local brand.
Cool.
There was like a course. There was like a uni course at Curtin. I went to Curtin. One of the what are they called? Broadening units.
Yeah.
Was like, hey, do a creative internship, and I was like, I'd love to. And then you get a credit, so you don't have to do, maths.
How was that internship?
It was great. I worked for free, but I was working for something which I liked a lot. Mantle are doing basically what I wish I was doing, and they're doing it locally. And I think Lars, the owner, comes from a pretty similar background to me. And yeah, it was good. I learned a lot, but I also probably could have not done it, and I probably would have figured some of that stuff out. I definitely learned a lot.
I think
It's one of those things where I'm like, well, I think about it and I'm like, what if I just started my brand that 6 months earlier or whatever? And it's not like I was there 5 days a week. But that's something I always come back to. Is like, what time are you wasting working for someone else? I don't know.
I think, yeah, Mantle is probably one of my favorite fashion brands in Perth because I can just tell there's like so much depth to the brand. I think it, from what I know, and I want to get them on the podcast hopefully someday, but if you don't know Mantle, Perth-based couple, they have a store in the city, and I believe they both used to work at Commodore's Garçon.
Yeah, that's where they met, I think.
And
fantastic.
And like the brand, it, from what I can see, I think it's inspired by West Australian landscape and just like the raw elements of the West Australian landscape, and then they've kind of turned that into like Australian workwear sort of.
Yeah,
I'm sure it has like inspiration from Japanese fashion.
definitely. There's the things that I love about Mantle. Let's just talk about how good Mantle is.
Yeah,
for a bit.
I'm happy to do
I
that.
love doing that. They care a lot, like you say. It's very considered and very everything they make is very beautiful and very thoughtful.
And high quality.
And very high
And
quality and perfect and beautiful, and I love them. One of the things I love is that they will make, a shirt and it'll be, this is shirt 1. That's how they label stuff. And that's just a shirt. And then every season, instead of making, starting from scratch and making like a new shirt or like a new pair of pants, they will design and work with fabric mills to create the fabric instead, and then reinterpret their existing garments through new materials. So to me, that's a dream because I don't want.
Wait, so
I hate making pants.
are they? They're not breaking down the shirt into fabric.
No. They're making new fabric.
Yep.
And then making the same cut of shirt.
Yeah.
But in a new fabric, and they're very technical fabrics. And they're very like considered. Is the word I would use.
So
for
they're saying
Mantle.
the same silhouette cut, but different fabric.
And the fabric, and they'll sort of reinterpret it based on the fabric a lot of the time, which is very clever, I think, and also very.
Isn't that
efficient.
what normally happens? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sometimes. Depends. Depends on the brand, depends on the people. But I think the thing that makes Mantle special is their, not trust, I'm trying to think of the word. Faith. Their faith in their product. They really believe in it.
Yeah. I think the reason why, like, I think they went overseas to, I think they traveled and looks like they looked into like Japanese wear and how stuff works. And I think that's an important part of being a designer. Like, it is that travel part, going overseas. So
Yeah. Well, I think they both, when they worked for Com, they both lived in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Bloody love Mantle. Just talk
Same.
about Mantle. Shout out Lars and Ida.
I need to get them on. Like, maybe, hopefully next year. Stay tuned. But
I'll
anyway,
give you a plug.
Yeah, let's do it. Anyway, back to BOI-BOI.
Yeah.
So you want to have a bit more fun with this brand. Like, it is a fun brand. It's kind of like, it's almost taking the piss.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear that.
Because just from the sticker shirt,
Yeah.
it's kind of, it is, I find it funny because that is basically like 90% of streetwear is just like slap. There's like a normal shirt, slap something on it, boom,
logo. Yeah.
$200. So I don't know, that was funny, but
Yeah.
why is humor important for this sort of brand? Or
I like to think I'm a little bit funny sometimes. But I like I like comedy as a whole. I'm not saying I'm a comedian at all, but it's something I've always liked, and it's something I always feel through my study I felt kind of lacking in the fashion world. There's some
Fashion
now
can be very serious.
can be very, very
And I think
hoity-toity and very serious.
something that is a part of Australian culture is the larrikinism, is like
Yeah.
not taking things seriously. And I believe that people who aren't sort of into fashion, like most people don't care about fashion. So that when they see someone like doing, like wearing something different, they're like, oh, that's kind of funny. Like,
yeah.
let's laugh at that.
Yeah. I think every industry needs to be laughed at or okay with laughing at itself a bit. And
Yes.
there's a few big brands now that are very much doing the sort of meme culture.
Which brands?
Like Balenciaga and Vetements.
Yeah.
And like to a lesser degree, like Market, that
True.
that LA brand is very like funny. But even then,
meme culture for sure. That's taken over because
Market,
of like Gen Z and
and even then, it's like, I don't know. Even I still find it very funny to see like runways of like Balenciaga or something, and people are like, that really is a really big shirt. That's hilarious. Well, I'm like, it's like
and the red boots.
big red boot. Yeah, Mischief. I like Mischief. They're mischievous. There's
I think
there's
fashion,
funny things happening.
Yeah, fashion these days, I think it is taking itself less seriously. Even like the marketing behind Marnie. Like I'm loving the Marnie marketing at the moment.
Yeah.
Just like very real, and they're like having fun with it. Like it's some dude like there was an ad of some dude like spinning a stick or something, just like random dude, and it's just so random, but it's just like cool. It's not like trying to be cool. It's just a normal person.
I guess that's why, right? You've mentioned the word cool. Fashion's meant to be cool.
Yeah.
It's what the cool people wear. But I'm like, clothes is what everyone wears, except unless you're a nudist, a naturalist. So I think we should just have a bit more fun. I mean, it's not something I feel like I've executed yet completely. I've sort of fallen into the t-shirt realm at this point because it's very expensive to make stuff. But I think people need to have more fun. It's more fun
because you take the piss out of the sticker slap shirts, but then in a way you did the same thing, sort of.
Yeah. I still sold it.
Yeah,
like I mean, from like not thinking from like an art design perspective, thinking from like a brand perspective, right? Like making a small clothing label, what's easy to sell is t-shirts with simple designs, hoodies with simple designs, and nice basic things, which is good. I mean, you got to have some t-shirts, some white t-shirts in your closet,
facts.
right?
I love the white t-shirts.
Got to have one. Got to have at least a couple. But I don't think I'd be pleased with myself if that was all I was giving. So I do feel like maybe this is a therapy session now.
It's supposed to be.
Maybe I'm
it's
just
here.
nervous.
Just flesh out.
Maybe
ideas.
I just am subconsciously trying to take the piss out of myself for doing it. But it's like, if I really wanted to have a successful or relatively successful or, making money kind of brand, I'd make t-shirts with my logo in a different font.
What if you had, think of this, you had white t-shirts, just plain white t-shirts, but the silhouette was kind of funny.
Yeah. I would
maybe
love to do
really
that.
long, like...
Would you like to sew them for me?
Me?
Yeah.
I want to learn how to sew, so...
I'll teach you and
I
then
can
you can work for
intern
me
for
for
free.
Yeah. That's the thing that I come into grips with a lot. But, if I wanted to, if I was phoning it in, you'd get a new BOI-BOI t-shirt every month.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a different color with a different font, and it would say BOI-BOI clothing. But I don't like that. I don't think that's worth doing.
Okay.
I'd like to have more fun. And I think part of the wanting to have fun with it is kind of how I approach a lot of things. think if I didn't want to have fun, I'd probably get a real job.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably why I play music and, you know.
So this is, it's not your full, is it your full-time job or?
It's my full-time job that doesn't pay.
Okay.
It's what I do full-time, and I do Uber Eats. I just told you before we started that I just got off
Uber Eats.
2 hour.
This is the reality though, and I think it's the reality that, you know, you have all these like cool designers in Perth or Melbourne or Sydney, whoever, and they're like, yeah, I got a fashion brand, but it's just like on the download, like it's very effing hard to make like a living off a fashion brand.
I mean, unless you want to make
or you have rich
same t-shirts. Yeah. If we want to talk about it, man. I mean, the temptation. I come from, you know, my parents did well for themselves, so I had a comfortable upbringing, and it's sort of a point of pride, if not a stupid thing. I don't want to be one of those people.
You want to be self-made.
Yeah, I don't want to be borrowed 50k off Papa and printed 100 custom
BOI-BOI.
cut and sewn shirts with a white logo that says poo poo pee pee, even though that would be very funny. There's a lot of that. There's so many people like that, and I'm sure they're making money, but I don't see how
even these
you can
brands,
enjoy it.
Yeah, even I was at Japan Fashion Week, and there were designers that they're making like, amazing stuff, but I think they're still trying to figure out like how to make it in fashion and at Tokyo Fashion Week and stuff. And there was a designer I interviewed, and she did the internship at Jacquemus or what's it called?
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. Something French.
Her brand's Maison J. Simone, I think she's starting to make it in Tokyo, but
cool.
I think it was a very long process to get there, and but I think because she's based in Paris, she could be a stylist for Zara or something like that, like helping choose the clothing, and like there's jobs opportunities that over there.
Proper job.
But here, it's FIFO or Uber Eats or like
yeah. I should have gone on the tools. You hear this a lot lately from the creatives around town.
Yeah.
Oh man, should have learned a trade. Could have been a tradie until I was 26 and then started doing art. That would have been good.
Well, do you think there's a market somewhere in like Australia or Perth where you can be a fashion designer and make like maybe it's making like custom workwear, like actual workwear, not
I don't know. We'll start the new King G.
Or like, because I'm thinking, as a full-time photographer I'm like applying for other jobs and stuff myself. I'm like, hey, is there such thing as a FIFO photographer? Like, I'll do that.
Hey, that'd be good.
Is there such thing as a FIFO fashion designer? Like,
I fly in and I mend people's overalls.
Yeah, exactly.
For 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
And then I come home and I make overalls for 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't know. It's the dream is out there, you know. I think everyone kind of feels that, like the dream is doing what you like to do for money, but in reality, that doesn't happen for everyone. And when it does,
who has it happened
ages.
to? Who has it happened to in Perth?
Very lucky people. I think maybe if you asked Mantle, they would say yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Mantle.
I'm sure Street X are doing fine. I'm sure they're doing great.
True.
I'm sure. I don't know. A few places are closed lately.
Mantle seems to have figured it out. Like,
They're killing it.
because, like, I just think I need to have this conversation with them. But I think they just know that they've done their research like to the T.
Yeah.
They're making clothes they want to make in Perth.
Yeah.
And I think they make quality clothing, sell at a high price, and they have a niche customer base that loves their stuff.
Very loyal.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very loyal customer base, which is very cool, which is what I would like, which I have, thanks to people who buy my stuff.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. God, they're good, aren't they? Bloody Mantle. Bloody love them.
But did you ask, did they do internship for free and stuff like that? Did you ask them about that, or don't know?
I don't know. I think I probably would have. It was ages ago now. It's almost 2 years ago now. 3 years ago. I've got a memory of a sieve, of a goldfish through a sieve. Yeah, I mean, it's just disappointing.
No, I think it's possible there. That's hope. Mantle's hope.
There is hope. There is hope out there somewhere. Some people do it. Some people are happy, allegedly.
Yeah.
And also creative. I haven't met any of them, but when I do, I'll let you know.
Except for Lars.
Except for Lars and Ida, who are
yeah,
lovely, sweet baby angels.
And
it's the thing that I come back to with this, and also like from my two lives as someone who thought they were going to be in a band. Well, I didn't really. Someone who was in a band, I was going to say for the rest of their life. I'm too cranky and old for that already. Being in a band, our manager always said, don't expect a profit, because like it or not, a band is still a business. It's got costs, and it's got,
overheads,
ins,
and
outs, overheads. And they would always say, this is Hayley Ayres. Shout out Hayley. She was our manager. Still a very good person who I love. She'd always say, think of it like a business. Businesses, the quote everyone throws around is, takes 5 years to start making money.
Yeah.
And we kind of approached the band like that, and we didn't make any money. We didn't operate for 5 years. But we had fun. We had a shitload of fun, and we traveled the world. I'm still treating BOI-BOI like that.
Yeah. I mean,
I've accepted that it's not going to make any money for a while.
But it's been around about 3 years.
Yeah.
About 3 years.
Yeah.
And like, what successes have you had at BOI-BOI? I mean, it's like, it's growing. People are aware of BOI-BOI. People are talking about BOI-BOI.
It's gone all right. I'm very negative about it.
No, to
be honest,
I don't think you're negative. I think you're kind of like me. Like, you're very just honest. Like,
bit real.
Yeah,
Realist.
just very real. And I like that. Here in the Digital Creators Podcast, we like to be real. Like, because if you're not real, people are going to get like a distorted idea. Like, if there's young listeners and like, I'm going to do fashion and I'm going to like be famous. Just like, I think give them a dose of reality, like what it is. It
sucks.
It's
it's hard, and sometimes
this is the most depressing podcast ever, but I love it.
Sometimes I work for like 2 months, and I'm like, this is the coolest fucking thing I've ever designed, and it's gonna be so sick. And then I show it off to people, and then I put it on my website, and then I don't sell any of them.
Yeah,
like 0. And then I'm like, well, that was a fucking waste of my time. I should quit.
Why do you think, like, because it's possible to sell those products, you know?
I thought you were going to say, you can quit.
No, you should just quit.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's possible. You can sell anything. Like,
and I do
believe
eventually.
It's sell anything.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a marketing, like, your approach? I want to talk a little bit about business. Like,
yeah.
What do you think you can do differently to sell more products? And I know some people are like, marketing, salesy stuff, but it's just like, it's a business. And I think if you believe in your product, you want more people to be aware of your product because then they can wear your product because you believe it will bring value to them. So, yeah, how would you market it? How are you going about marketing in general?
What we're doing is
I've seen some.
I'm spending ages making clothes, and then about a week before I'm ready to put them out, I go, I should probably make
TikTok
a joke Photoshop poster for this garment that I made, and then I post that, and then I'm surprised that I don't sell 1,000 of them. No, I mean, it's all the usual stuff. You got to get on the Instagrams. I think that's kind of it now. I mean, like what? I'm sending people emails.
Get on the email, the BOI-BOI email list.
We have a new thing in our shop if you want it. It's hard. It's very hard. And you want to talk about business? I'm one guy.
I'm a one-man band.
I'm a one-man band. I was lucky enough to get a little bit of AIT in high school, and that got me into doing Photoshop, and then I learned Photoshop, and then I learned Premiere, and so I do all that shit myself.
Do you want to sell your stuff, Mark?
I do, I promise. But I'm saying there's only so many hours in the day, and there's only so many thoughts that I can fit in my tiny little brain.
What are your thoughts on getting interns to work for you for free?
I don't want to do it.
Why?
Because I don't want people to work for free. I think, especially when they're skilled laborers, I would be annoyed if I had to work for free now. It might be the cruel truth of my industry that I might have to eventually, but
what if you
trying to avoid it.
What if they pay you to work with them? And what I mean by that is, what if you made workshops? And in the workshops, they're learning how to sew, but at the same time,
to sew my clothes,
exactly.
and then make some, and then I'll flog them, and then I'll give you $3.
No, but they're getting that experience. Like,
they're getting the experience of basically working in a sweatshop.
Yep.
And I'll put the lights really low, and I'll smoke cigarettes in the room, and I'll make it really hot, and I'll make them really uncomfortable. Yeah.
They've got to sweat, although it's not a sweatshop.
Yeah, look.
Because like Australian labour costs are very, very high. So like, if you were to pay an internship, like an intern, that'd be crazy.
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be doable for me, and I wouldn't want to do it unfairly for them.
So if like 1,000 customers went to your website right now and purchased like heaps of hoodies and shirts and stuff, what are you gonna do?
Well, use some of that money to pay someone to help me do it.
Okay.
If I'm making money, I've got money to give to them. I'm a genius businessman.
So what if another thing I've seen brands do is they pay famous people to wear their clothes. Thoughts?
That's super funny. That's a really funny thing that happens in this industry. But again, it's where we are. It's where we are. 2023.
That's why they buy stuff, not because they're just like, oh, that cool person wore it.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of mantle.
They haven't done that.
Well, they haven't.
They've just made quality clothing.
But then they posted a picture of, I think, The Weeknd or Big Sean or both of them at different times wearing mantle jackets. And I was like, this is super cool. And I messaged Lars, and Lars was like, people just like our stuff, man.
So they didn't do that
so cool.
intentionally. They just...
I think a stylist who works for both of them likes mantle.
There we go. Oh,
I think is the go.
What if you just make a good brand?
I think...
What if you just do the
maybe I
work?
need to just fucking make some clothes.
Make some like quality clothes. Like,
I mean, in an ideal world, meritocracy, right? Fucking, yeah, you put in the hours and then it pays off, but it doesn't. It doesn't at all. But on like asking people to wear clothes, I've never paid anyone.
Okay.
But a few months ago, I
gave a t-shirt away.
Yeah. No, I went in the Rolodex of people I know from music and life and touring and just people, and hit a bunch of people up and just said, "Send me your management email or whatever. Send me an email." I got an email.
Yeah.
And I made a big PDF, big A4,
Wow, that's very
8.5
business-like
by
of you,
11.
Mark.
Yeah. And then
Are you trying to market your clothing to
yeah,
people?
so this is how I marketed my clothing. And I've typed out. I used some fancy textures that I got from Harrison Jahadi. Shout out. And I typed out this big letter.
Was it like what font are we talking?
I think probably something boring for the body, like Helvetica, maybe Helvetica Rounded. Really like that one. And then I did like a nice script font for the top, and it said "BOI-BOI VIP very exclusive clothing program." And then I wrote like 4 paragraphs about, "Hello,
It
you
sounds
may
like
remember me from Demon Days. I remember you from Demon Days, or you might know me from producing, and I like your stuff. And if you don't realize, I now have a clothing brand. So if you want something, let me know, because I actually like your work."
Are you trying to sell your product, Mark?
Yeah, I am. I'm trying to move.
How dare you?
I'm trying to move numbers.
Because if I was your psychologist, I would say you're living in a world of duality. You take the piss out of fashion at the same time you're making fashion that
I
you
desperately
take the
want
piss
to
out
be
of.
included.
You don't like the feeling of marketing clothing and selling, being all salesy, but at the same time it's kind of what you have to do.
Yeah.
So you're self-sabotaging yourself.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. No, I mean,
How do you feel about that?
I feel it's very accurate, and I think, what I was trying to say about running a band and a brand as a business. Part of it is accepting that you can't just sit around and make shit all the time. You have to do the marketing stuff, and I'm really good at making excuses to not do that stuff, which is great.
I think back to Mantle. Just they don't really, I see other brands like shouting at the top of their lungs, like, "Buy my stuff. Oh, this cool person wear it." Da, 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 da. Mantle's just like, "Hello,
Here's the product.
here's
Check
high
it out.
quality
It's
product,
really good.
high quality photo,
Yeah.
just in our studio. Just it's about like, yeah, that's really cool."
It's really cool. They're really cool.
But what's like? How do you go about making your garments? Like, are they all hand sewn? Where are you sourcing materials?
I am sourcing materials from people who sell materials.
Such as?
There's a few companies over east.
Spotlight.
Homecraft Textiles. No, there's a few places called... am I just giving away my trade secrets now?
Tune in for Mark's secrets.
There's a place called Fern Textiles, which I really like. And they're very nice, and they're very good, and they import a lot of fabrics from Japan. There's a lot of people. They're mainly on the East Coast. Every now and then they come over and they send you an email and they say,
"Hey, Mark,
we're in town. Do you want to see some fabric?" And you go, "Yes, please." And then you look at the fabric and then you go, "I can't afford any of this. Thank you very much for your time." I source fabrics as best I can. I try and use cotton because it's nice.
it's goated."
It's goated. It doesn't stink like polyester.
What are your thoughts on? What's your hot take on wool?
Wool
Is even more expensive.
is even more expensive and kind of nice. And what do you mean, my hot take?
Well, actually, I want to give you my hot
it's an
take.
animal product.
I want to give you my hot take
Okay, you hate it.
because I went to an agricultural convention because I was taking photos there, and my sister works in agriculture.
Yeah. Big ag.
Yeah. And there was a presentation on wool by the Woolmark Foundation.
Oh, yeah.
And I've seen, this is a big trend lately. I think it's probably true, but also like a lot of brands, like even eBay, like, you know, this whole sustainability trend. eBay's like, hey, be sustainable, buy secondhand products from eBay. Just like we've already been doing that for like since
it's kind
eBay.
of their thing.
It's their
selling
thing.
me secondhand stuff.
Yeah, but they're just saying, hey, we're saving the planet, which
Now
is like
it's in service of green.
Yeah. And Woolmark is now using this marketing, and they're saying let me just read out some stats, because
Do some
actually
Googling. Is this
I've got stats
are you
right
going
here.
where I think you're going, where wool is technically is considered a waste product because sheep get too hot if you don't shave them?
Here we go.
You heard that? If you don't shave a sheep for ages, it just gets too hot. That's so funny.
It's probably could be true. I don't know.
Apparently it's true. I heard it somewhere from someone.
So these are the pros and cons of wool use in the fashion industry in relation to climate change.
Okay.
Pros: low carbon footprint. Wool production has a lower carbon emissions compared to synthetics. Biodegradability. Wool is natural and breaks down harmlessly.
Mm-hmm.
Longevity and durability. Wool garments last longer, reducing the need for replacements.
Then what?
Synthetic.
Right.
Wait.
It's a broad claim.
No, I actually
Wool lasts longer. Then what?
But I gotta say, I own like a wool sweater, and like if you stretch that thing, there's no going back. So I'm not sure how true that claim is, but energy efficiency. Wool processing requires less energy than synthetic fibers. Waste reduction. Wool's durability minimizes textile waste in length. Oh, durability. So they're going on about durability, but yeah, I don't know. It is, I don't know, durability. What are your thoughts on that?
What are my thoughts?
Durability. Is wool durable? It's not really. It's like very stretchy.
I don't know.
Oh. These are the cons. So
Depends how you use it, right?
cons are methane emissions because of sheep, greenhouse gas, land use and deforestation for the farms.
For sheep.
Fertilizer. Wool production can release nitrous oxide, a greenhouse gas. Energy consumption. Wool processing requires energy. So,
but not as much.
but I think the biodegradability is the great positive thing in.
Dig a hole, put your jumper in it.
Yeah.
Come back later, it's gone.
It takes
Worms, full.
Worms can.
A very hearty meal for a group of worms.
They love it. Whereas I thought I had some stats on how long it takes to biodegrade. I'm pretty sure it was like. Yeah, so this is the ad. The ad says, merino wool is 100% natural, renewable, but 100% biodegradable. In general, wool can take anywhere from a few months to a few years to decompose fully compared to synthetic wool. So yeah, a few months to decompose. So I think that's the big thing. Like if you think of all the fast fashion going into that big pit in Spain or wherever it is, you've seen the pictures.
In the big pit in Kalgoorlie.
Yeah, it biodegrades. So I don't know. Cotton's also natural, but I think
that's the logic behind cotton.
as well. Okay,
we like it for that reason. I think, synthetics have their uses, but yeah, I think in general,
so cotton would be the same, is it? Biodegrades
as wool.
Yeah.
Well, it's a natural product. Yeah.
Okay, so I
Comes
don't know
on
what
a
I was
plant,
going on
doesn't
about then.
No, I think as wool, yeah, it would be, but not as synthetics. But it depends what you're doing.
So yours is 100% natural cotton.
No.
Oh.
If I'm making something from scratch, it's usually cotton. Yeah, usually cotton drill or denim. I like heavy fabrics.
Yeah.
And I design everything in-house, aka in my house.
Mm-hmm. In my home
in
studio.
My
aka
home
my
studio,
room.
aka my living room. My dining room table. Yeah, and then I sew it all myself. Unless I'm doing like a hoodie or a shirt.
And you're wearing one right now.
I'm wearing one right now.
BOI-BOI. So what have we got here? Explain this. It's
Fun story. This combines all sorts of stuff that we've just talked about.
Is there a lot of meaning behind this product,
There's
Mark?
so much meaning. Let's link it back to me sending people emails.
Is it funny? Is it a funny?
Kind of. I think it's funny.
I think
it's pretty
global
funny.
warming is funny.
Yes. So when I emailed all those people, a beautiful, sweet Fremantle local Noah Dillon replied and said,
Hi, Mark.
"Hi, Mark. This is awesome." I don't know what he said. This is totally awesome, and let's do something. And said, "Oh, I'm going on tour in June, and I'm touring this song Drip Dry." Drip Dry. And I said, "Cool." And then he said, "In the music video, I'm a weatherman." And I said, "That's fun." And then I said, "What if we did like a weather map, you know, on the news when you just putting my hand in front of the camera, you know, green screen kind of thing." And then I was like, "That's a really cool idea. I'd love to do that. How I would do it is this, this, and this. I could do a print." Kind of boring. Everyone does prints.
Could do a sticker.
Could do a sticker. Slap it on there. Bob's your uncle. And then I thought about synthetics, because if you use a laser cutter to cut synthetic fabric, or most synthetic things, it seals the edge as it cuts. Yep. So this is great audio. I thought, what if I make patches using synthetic satin?
Is that sewed around the edges, or
it's sewn on? It's all sewn. There's no glue.
Wow.
I didn't use glue.
All
My mum
handmade.
called me an idiot. She said, "Why didn't you use basting spray?" And I said, "I don't know what that is." And then she gave me some for my birthday. Thanks, Mum.
Oh.
Yeah, so I sewed them all together, and then you get like a heat wave thing. So it
What's
came
it symbolic of?
It came the news.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. It's very. He's a weatherman.
Is it something to do? Oh,
so
it's not
it
to
was
do with.
born out of that thing with Noah.
Okay.
And then I thought, I'm gonna have to get these laser cut. I may as well get a shitload laser cut because it's gonna cost me anyway. And then I just sewed them onto some hoodies, and then they looked cute. And I did the same with this.
23 degrees.
This isn't wool. This is acrylic.
Okay. Acrylic
felt, not wool felt. So acrylic felt
I've
does
heard
the same
of acrylic
thing.
paint, but not acrylic.
Yeah.
Wool.
I don't know what acrylic is. Probably plastic of some kind. Some sort of polymer, some sort of composite. And I did the same thing. It seals the edges.
23 degrees, great
23
temperature.
degrees. It is. People keep asking me that. They say, "Why 23 degrees?" And I say,
Perfect temperature for homeostasis.
they say, "Is it your favorite temperature?" And I say, "Have you looked at a calendar recently?" Because it's the year of our Lord 2023, and that was about as much thought as went into it. And it's an easy number to
It
sew.
is a great temperature, though. Like
It's fantastic
24 is
temperature.
apparently the perfect temperature for human beings.
Is that why they set all the air
Think.
cons to that?
Yep. But 23 is a little bit cooler.
A little on the cool side, but then you chuck a jumper on.
Yeah.
Lovely. I like cold weather. You can put jumpers on. Yeah, so that's where this came from. It started as the Noah thing.
Yeah.
I made him a button-up shirt with these patches all over it.
Did you do anything unique with the cut, with the silhouette?
Of this?
Yeah.
No. I bought a hoodie and I sewed the stuff on because...
Oh, so you didn't sew the hoodie
I didn't sew
together?
the hoodie. I sewed
Okay.
the stuff on.
Okay.
Because that's cost effective. And they
And we're
probably
running
do
a
a better...
business.
And we're running a successful business. And they'll probably do a better job than me. And they're already mass producing them. So why not?
Sometimes I like when it's a little bit sketchy and not all the time,
Not all the
especially
time.
with the collar, but maybe you get that, rustic handmade feel.
Yeah, for stuff like pants and stuff, I'm happy with that.
Are these
For
boy
basic
pants?
stuff,
Or?
These are Object House pants.
Oh,
Shout out Declan McPhail.
I
The
believe I
second
have
best brand in
shirt.
Perth. The first
behind
one?
BOI-BOI.
Yes. Yeah. So I made Noah a button-up shirt, and then I made him some jeans, and then I was like, I've got all these patches.
Okay.
So I made this. So yeah,
I've
that
seen
was
you.
what I
I've
was
seen you
hoping.
also make. You make a lot of stuff. So
I do be making things.
if you go on the BOI-BOI Instagram or the website, you've made maxi skirts as well,
Oh yeah.
and they hand
Yeah.
Like,
So
handmade.
anything that isn't a t-shirt or a hoodie is 100% handmade.
Why is that? Is that because
T-shirts
shirts
and
and
hoodies
hoodies
are everywhere.
and they're easier to?
And they're cheap.
Okay.
Well, they're mass produced, and if I tried to sew them myself, I wouldn't do as good of a job.
Okay.
I'm getting a nicer t-shirt. You're getting a nicer
okay,
t-shirt
so
if I buy them.
This is like a sort of.
Because sewing stretch fabric is hard.
Would you say like t-shirts and hoodies are like your kind of
Bread and
quote
butter.
unquote basics range, and then you
Yeah.
have more designer products which are like handmade,
Exactly.
higher price.
I used to
possibly.
harp on about it a lot on my
That's a good
Instagram.
strategy. I like that. But
I
not-
used to call it merchandise, and then I can't remember what I called actual products. But yeah, I treat t-shirts and hoodies, less this one because it took a lot of effort, but they're bread and butter stuff for those out there who want to know what it's like running a brand. The Kitty Winkles who are thinking about running a brand. I don't think I've made money back on anything I've sewn myself
really.
ever, because it's really expensive and time consuming, and I don't pay myself from that either. So it's very hard to justify as a small brand.
So you pretty much you're doing it for fun, for the joy,
I'm doing it for the love of the
the
game.
love, the joy of
I'm
it.
married to the game.
Because my goal, because like as a photographer, or I think any creative industry, you're kind of all in the same boat. Where like, oh, do you go overseas and try and make it in the big smoke? But I think I do also like Perth, enjoy
Big fish,
Perth,
small
yeah.
pond.
because I think it's one of the best places to live like long term. In terms of
Yes.
like it's very
100%.
true, like all the stuff we talked about. However, I do have that itch I want to scratch in terms of somehow making an impact like overseas, or like pushing myself to see what I can do. So my plan is getting a job now, like a normal 9 to 5 probably,
Mm-hmm.
being depressed for the next 5 or however many years.
Yeah.
I want to buy a house here, some house, and then rent that out while I go overseas.
You're going to
and-
become a landlord.
yeah, become a landlord. Become a landlord. And go overseas. Then I can like do whatever I want. Because I feel like if you have a house here, it's like, what else do you really need to buy? As long as you have a place to sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So buy that here. Then when I'm in my like 30s, go over and try to do that stuff. Like make try to see how far I can take it. And then if I fail, I can still sleep in Perth in my house.
There's a bed
Theoretically.
waiting for you.
Yeah, so even if I had to do a free internship, which also doesn't sound fun, I don't think I'll do that. But I'm prepared to fail overseas as long as I have something to come back to in Perth,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's my plan.
Sounds scary.
Why?
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't-
Sounds quite
I think I'm
wise.
taking it very safe compared to other people. Other people just go, like they don't care.
Yeah. I'm too scared.
I'm
and
just
I love Perth.
yeah.
I do. You're right. It's where I picture myself living long term, I think.
Yeah.
It's a really good place to be old, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
My parents are having a blast being
Oh,
old.
when you're old in Perth, it's killer. Like
It's dope.
drive down south, drive up north, go camping.
Get a
like,
camper van.
So like chill, like there's young people aren't having too much fun here.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm seeing where it takes me. I guess for now, I'm young and dumb. For a bit, I'm only just 25.
Mm-hmm.
It is starting to be
A thing.
It's starting to be an ongoing thought. Maybe I'm too old to be young and dumb and messing around. That does come up in my head every now and again, but I'm having fun for now.
That's good. No, I think
If I want to work at Coles, I can when
Yeah.
I'm 30.
perfect.
If everything really goes poorly,
There's always calls.
I'll be a
Centrally.
checkout chick, and I'll turn on the charm for the
Yeah.
older ladies.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sort of where I'm at the moment. Like, I enjoy the art of photography, like doing collabs, doing photo shoots. I make the stuff I make money on, which is like corporate headshots or events for corporate companies. Like, I just did an event for a cleaning like a big corporate cleaning company or
Sick.
stuff like that. That's what pays the bills. But yeah, I'm also having fun like with the collabs and stuff. It's like brings enjoyment into my life.
Yeah.
So
Fulfilled.
yeah, it makes you feel fulfilled. Would it be better to like make money, lots of money on it? Probably. But I think we have the fun part, at least. That's what we got from it.
Yeah. Now we just have to keep that going, not burn out, and then somehow turn it into money. Angel numbers in my
Money.
bank account.
Don't you think we should just be all given universal income and
Now we're talking.
like I actually think we should all just be given a house. Like, why can't we just all be given a house? This is a whole different subject. But
Yeah. This
'Cause
is
like-
a long topic, which even me, a pretty raging leftist, is not mentally prepared to have. There's a laundry list of reasons why we're not allowed, and none of them are good.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and like like talking about like being in like my 20s. It's that I've got like a joke that I always like that I keep saying to people. It's like, you know, you're in uni and people are like, oh man, oh I love uni, oh I love the uni days, so good, best years of my life, and you're like, dude, I'm so depressed. Dude, I am struggling so hard. And people are like, nah, man, best years of my life, your 20s. Oh, I wish I could go back and be 20. And you're like, I don't even like being 20 now. So I don't know what 30 is going to be like. But anyway, sometimes I think about that. And then you meet people in a similar way who go, man, I wish I did something stupid in my 20s. You know?
Yeah.
I think now's the time to do something silly. And in 10 years, we can look back at this podcast and go, fuck, you're stupid. Should have got a real job.
20s.
You know, early 20s, do something stupid.
It's true. I mean, like, you can get away with more
Yeah.
when in your youth. That's
I got
true.
time.
But then you don't have money.
Yeah, but whatever. Figure it out.
So I think I'm looking forward to my 30s because I just feel like, I mean, I'm having fun without like making like crazy amounts of money with or like very little with, if I'm talking about my artistic photography, like
Yeah.
very little. But I'm having fun with it. But yeah, I feel like in your 30s, I think it's building up to something, hopefully. Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll figure
Yeah.
something out. Couple of fucking...
But this is real. I like
couple
how
of
we
cis
kept it
white
real.
guys.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
I like how,
Unfortunately.
did you assume my...
Was I wrong?
No.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah.
Just a couple of cis white guys on a podcast. Just
Who-
what the
who
world
would've
needed.
thought? Yep. We need more.
We'll
The world needs more.
we'll figure it out. I think we're gonna figure it out. I think someone's gonna figure it out, and then at the very least, I'll be really happy for them,
Yeah.
and I'll have made some silly things along the way.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, collaboration is key. Working together, supporting each other, and yeah.
Don't be too much
So-
of a sassy bitch like me.
Yeah, you're not down to earth at all.
Sorry,
You don't keep it real, man. No.
sorry.
I like how we kept it very real on this episode. It's probably a very depressing episode, but in a good way. Because if you listen to it, you'll see where we're at, what we're actually thinking. We're not trying to...
It's melancholic.
Yeah.
It's a little sad, little happy.
It's a very boy episode.
Mm.
But yeah, thanks so much, Mark, for coming on.
Thanks
and
for having me
having a chat.
on my first ever podcast. Big podcast guy over here.
Hey,
I'm gassed.
just a couple of cis guys on a podcast. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the episode. And are you open to collaborations with people and people like hitting you up with ideas?
Yeah,
and
hit me up with stuff. I don't know.
Cool.
DM me, BOI-BOI_clothing or shy_fine.
We didn't even talk about you're a DJ as well. Like, do you want to cover that in the next 20 seconds?
I've been making beats for like 12 years, and now I DJ sometimes to keep the music alive. And I still make beats a lot, but I don't share them with people.
Oh.
But I might.
Like hip hop?
Yeah, bit of hip hop, bit of dancey stuff, bit of housey stuff, whatever I'm feeling. Some sort of
That's pretty
ambienty
cool.
stuff. I'm all over the place. Yeah, I'm thinking about bringing that back. So keep your eyes peeled.
Yes. Keep your eyes peeled for Shy-Fi.
Shy-Fi. I'm trying to work out how to do live sets without having to have a band.
Yeah. DJs. Oh, you're a DJ now.
Yeah, I don't want to just press play on my songs.
Guy. You're a podcast guy.
I sit at
you're
home,
a
I
fashion
listen to
guy,
podcasts,
and
then
you're
I
a DJ
sew,
guy.
And then after that, I make beats. It's a lot. It's a big day.
Thanks so much for coming on. Check out Boy Clothing.
Yeah.
And check out the website, www.boy. What is it?
Yeah, www.boyboyclothing.com.au/. Sometimes you can put a / at the end of
just
your URL
/
just for fun. Doesn't actually change where it directs you. Just thought I'd chuck that in.
Link down below. Peace. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Peace out.